All right, welcome in everyone. I told you it's going to be an exciting day. Just didn't want it to be this exciting. I hope you had a chance to look at with the proper precaution, of course, the eclipse earlier today. Quite a fascinating sight. Unfortunately, that's not what I'm on to talk about tonight. I'm on to talk about what I talked about in my morning weather update, the possibilities of severe weather, and we have a severe thunderstorm warning currently in effect for southern Rockwall, northwestern Kaufman County, and eastern Dallas County until 8:15. This is for 60-mile-an-hour wind gust and quarter size hail. None of that's been confirmed yet, but that is what the Weather Service is issuing at the moment. So, well, if I get my ticker to work there we go. And a little summary of what we're talking about. Again, severe thunderstorm warning for Rockwall, Kaufman, eastern Dallas County until 8:15. Quarter size hail, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts are the hazards associated with that. None of that has been reported yet. That's all radar indicated. All right, let's just get right to it. So here is the current radar, and get rid of this. So as you can see, the area eastern Dallas County, southern Rockwall County, south of I-30, the western part of Kaufman County, pretty much Forney west to the county line. And as you can tell, quite a bit of lightning with this. Do have a hail core indicated by radar. Don't have any ground truth of that yet, but it is something that we're definitely watching. And so if I can, let me get over here and put this in motion. And again, you're going to see a general northeast motion and moving at a pretty good clip at about 45 miles an hour. So it won't take long to get to your area if you're in eastern Dallas County. Not quite to Saxe, but hopefully the hail will stay away from everybody. But he's going to move in a pretty good clip. So if you're outside right now, had to be listening to me outside, then get inside and take shelter if you're outside, not shelter if you're inside. We're not talking about a tornado or anything. We are talking about quite a bit of hail, as you can see. And like I said, moving at a pretty good clip. Hey, Kara, yes, I don't want to. Can we put a bubble around Saxe? Boy, if I could do that, I would do it in a heartbeat. All right, so let's stop this here and get a little more detail on this. All right, so zoom in a little bit here. So I see some purple there. Again, that is the reflectivity. But let's go to the hydrometer. So the red indicates a rain hail mix. And if I go up here, I don't know if it's going to show up there or not. Actually, it's not. So it's not all hail, but there's probably some hail mixed in. So again, right now, just this radar is moving, like I said, it's moving pretty fast, moving about 45 miles an hour to the northeast. So it's not going to take long to get to your area. But right now, the latest radar scan has it south of I-20, but I would imagine it's probably at I-20 now. And so if you live in Mesquite, again, we'll zoom this out a little bit here. Let's do that. And then some Mesquite, southeastern part of Garland, and then also into Rockwall County. Just if you know anybody that lives in those areas, just let them know what's going on. Nothing to be terribly concerned about, but stuff to be aware of, that's for sure. So if you have vehicles outside, if you could put them in the garage, I definitely would do that just in case the worst happens. Right now, don't. Of course, the warning was just issued, so I don't know that we have any ground truth on what's going on. But let me check this spotter network here and see if we do have anything going on. Checking your comments. Thank you, Kelly. Appreciate that. It was a great day today. I was definitely looking forward to the eclipse. I was not looking forward to this, although unfortunately I'm not surprised. But hopefully things will tamp down a little bit, and I'll get into a little bit later what our overnight chances are, which aren't the greatest. But we'll talk about that in a second. Just looking at reports here. Boy, I tell you what, you know what? We can get rid of this top warning here. Let's do this. There we go. I was hiding myself. Not that you need to see me, but anyway. So let's get back to this. All right. So where was I? All right. So I'm just looking at the spotter reports. I know when this storm was in Ellis County, they had some golf ball size hail reports. So unfortunately, this storm has a history of producing golf ball size hail. However, it looks like it's kind of come down a little bit. Inch hail is the latest thinking that they have. Let's see. Okay, well, they just got a report of golf ball size hail, well, indicated by radar, I should say. All right, so that's just no good. Hello, Miss Thompson. Will this hit us hard? Well, this round, hopefully not. I would say we have a better chance of that overnight, but we'll talk about that in just a second. So, again, let's put the reflectivity back on here. All right. Yeah, well, that sucks. So, and the reason I say that is because that uh, possible hail core is moving due north, which would put it in the line for Saxe and points around eastern Garland, starting into Rockwall County. Um, yeah. All right. So let's put the hydrometer back on. All right. We don't see any yellow, which is good. That's really big hail, but still, there's definitely some hail to be concerned about. Uh-oh. I just saw the latest scan update. Go back there. Ooh, I did see some yellow. Well, that sucks even more. All right, so definitely got some hail in this storm. So if you have means to protect your vehicles, I would definitely do that. Although a lot can change between here and you know Garland, Rockwell, Saxe, so it's nothing to be terribly panicked about. But if you have a chance to do protective measures, I definitely would do that if you can. Uh, Kelly, your dog's been acting weird all day. I'm nervous. Well, I don't know if your dog has that ability to uh, detect severe weather. I hope he doesn't. No offense, but yeah, it was always going to be a situation to where yeah, we had this chance. That's for sure. Unfortunately, and I really thought that these particular storms, uh, quite honestly, would be more wind producers and not that I want a tornado, but more tornado producers and wind producers or hail producers. But unfortunately, that's not coming true. And this particular storm, was kind of behaving itself for the most part, but it's decided to get nasty all of a sudden. All right, let's look at what else we got going on here. Uh, Miss Thompson, how long is it before it gets here? I would say probably 15 minutes tops, I would guess. Though it's moving pretty quick. That's the thing. Let me go back and check. I want to say it was moving at 45 miles an hour. Let's see. Well, the reason I paused because I hear sirens, but I don't know why the sirens are going off. I don't know whose they are. Let's see. So they updated the warning north at 45 miles an hour, golf ball size hail, 60-mile-an-hour wind gust. Radar indicated. We haven't had any ground truth of that yet, but obviously they think it's something to definitely take seriously from a hail size standpoint. Let's see. Yeah, not sure why the sirens are going off. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's definitely a storm, but I don't see destructive hail. But all right, let's see. Hello, Misty. Misty's down south of us. Your tornado watch is gonna be gone. Yeah, but did they just put one into 1 a.m.? Yeah, that's not surprising, Misty. Unfortunately, Misty's down south of us. Definitely, the tornado threat is greater in her neck of the woods, but nothing so far, Misty. So don't worry about that. All right, so let's put this. Let's zoom back in. Put this back in motion. And if you have comments, just put them in the chat, and I'll get to them. All right. So a lot of lightning with this, but yeah. So you see that again. This is the reflectivity mode. So you do see um, again. This is radar indicated. I'm sure we'll get some reports here pretty soon. Oh, okay. So Rowlett, this Rowlett sirens I'm hearing. So if you live in Rowlett, they're activating it for the hail threats. Okay. All right. So again, the radar scans are a little bit behind. So I would say that hold on. Oh, everything blows up when the weather's bad. Sorry, responding to a text. All right. So we'll get a radar scan here in just a sec. Or well, no, actually that was just 2 minutes ago. So I would say that hey Candace, here tornado sirens. Yeah, so the only city oh, Garland just did too. All right. So so Rowlett and Garland have activated their sirens. So if you hear that, it's not a tornado threat. So let me emphasize that. It's not a tornado threat. Um, so all right, so I am going to pause for a second and be right back. Okay, a lot going on as you can imagine, so I had to put my mayor hat on sometimes too. So I apologize about that, and I'll probably have to do that again. So, okay, so if you just joined us, Yeah, it's not the greatest, but that's okay. We'll get to it. Okay, so we have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for eastern Dallas, southern Rockwall, western Kaufman County. Although the main show, quite frankly, is this cell right here in Mesquite now, like it's moving fast, about 45 miles an hour. So this radar is going to be behind, if you will. So I would guess in real time, this particular cell is north of where it's showing on the radar. So if I had to guess, because this last scan was at 7:59, it's 8:01. Okay, so it's not that old, 2 minutes. So, but again, it's just something that the storm's moving pretty fast. Yeah, Abra, you hear sirens too. Well, Abra's in Garland, I think. So, all right, hold on. Let me take a call. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. And take care of some city business. So, okay, so here's the latest. They updated the severe thunderstorm warning again for southern Rockwall, northeastern, or excuse me, northwestern Kaufman, northeastern Dallas counties. Again, until eight. I don't think they changed the time on it. No, till 8:15. I would not be shocked at all is if they extend the warning to the north and east. We'll obviously be watching that. So, the sirens have gone off in Garland and Rowlett. Those are the only two cities that I'm aware of that had sounded their sirens. I don't hear them anymore. I live in the southern part of Saxe, so near Garland and Rowlett. So um, I haven't heard it lately, although I got my headphones on. So that's that. All right. So the main concern, if you will, with this storm is hail. I haven't seen. Doesn't mean they're. I'm sure they'll come in. Uh, looks like that. I haven't seen any ground truth of hail, although I'm sure we'll get some here pretty soon. But everything so far from it's been a radar indicated hail size of a golf ball, which is an inch and three quarters. I need to emphasize radar indicated. Now, again, I think we will see probably some ground reports here pretty soon. It takes a little while to come in. But so I would say this, like any kind of situation where you have the possibility of hail and the hail looks, obviously like more likely than not, then you know, just take the precautions you can. If you can protect your vehicle in the garage or covered, do that. If you can't, don't put yourself in danger trying to go do that. But there's unfortunately, if the hail is big enough, there's not so much you can do. There's only so much you could do, I should say. Okay, just saw the first hail report. Estimated 1 inch, and that was in Sunnyvale, or 1 mile southwest of Sunnyvale. Okay, that's good in the sense that it's not great, obviously, but an inch in diameter hailstone is way better than an inch and 3/4 or close to two. So I'll take it. Hopefully, the hail size will continue to come down. All right, so let's get back to the radar here. Thank you, Abra. I appreciate that. Yes, I will have to take my time on some things, especially when I have to put my city hat on. All right, so let's zoom in on here. Yeah, Angela, the rotation over Sunnyvale. I was just gonna check that. I was on the phone. Okay, so this is the velocity signature, and I think what Angela might be referring to is uh, eh, that's about the only thing I see that might be. I don't even think it qualifies. Well, you can kind of look at this one too. But that is not any kind of strong signature at all, and hopefully it stays that way. So, um, and I haven't seen any chatter about that. Uh, yeah, so as I figured, they're about to uh, extend the warning a little further for hail. All right, just checking my messages here. All right, all right. So they're going to extend the warning here probably any minute. uh, to go probably include most of Saxby. Well, I would guess it'd be the rest of Northeast Dallas County, probably southern part of Collin County, western part of Rockwall County. I would guess. Storm spotter in downtown Mesquite, 1.5 inches. Okay. Now here's the saving grace, I guess you could say, about the hail is the storm itself is moving really fast. So that helps in the sense that if it does hail at your location, it probably won't hail very long. All right, so I hear sirens again. Okay, so it's not Saxy sirens because I would know about that, but I would guess it's Rowlett. Yeah, Rowlett. There you go. Thank you, Kyle. Um, okay, hey Vince. Will the hail course stay together, or and we're in the path? Well, it definitely could stay together. This storm historically has there's the new warning you just saw, which I'm not surprised. It kind of went a little bit further west, but again, you have to remember these polygons have a wide range of error. So just because I think if you're on the western side of this polygon, the severe thunderstorm warning they just issued, I think you're fine. The further east you are within that polygon, then the better chance you have of seeing some hail. So oh, it is one of those nights, and I was afraid of this morning, to be honest. All right, so there we go. All right, nothing to be terribly alarmed about. I'll tell you, I promise. Near Dawak 66. Kyle is okay. Let's zoom in some more on this. Now, again, this radar is a tad behind real time. So even though you might not can see it, but the 807 was this radar scan. It's 810. So, but again, this is not real time. It's a little bit behind. So I would say, this hail core is probably close to George Bush and 30. I would definitely say if you live, especially east of George Bush in the Rowlett vicinity, then I think you definitely, you know, can expect the potential for hail. It doesn't look quite as bad as before, although it's bad enough. And I say bad enough, probably 1.5 inches. Hey, Kara, had to hop off. What did I say about actually getting hail? Well, I hope we don't get any. But there's a possibility. But right now, the core is moving north. I would really call it more north northeast. And so if that holds together like it is, then our friends in Rowlett won't like it. Saxy may get a little bit of a break, and then on into Wiley. So definitely, if you live in Wiley, take heed of what's going on. Let's see what else we got on the storm spotter. Uh, yeah, no, only the two hail reports so far. Inch and a half in downtown Mesquite, and inch in Sunnyvale. Uh, all right, so and yes, Bill pleaded. If you know my number and you text me, that's fine. I'll just have to. Oh, okay. Thank you, Abra. Well, not thank you for the hail, but thank you for the picture. Okay, so this is from Abra's mom in Mesquite Beltline. Uh, it's hard for me to tell what size hail that is. It's big enough, unfortunately. Okay, thank you, Abra. I appreciate that. Tell your mom. Hope your mom's okay. Uh, yeah, Christy. Just when you move back to Rowlett, yeah, and you know why I don't like it. Uh, one for you, but two for another reason, as you know. Oh, let's hope that doesn't happen. Okay, so yes, hey Jennifer, yeah, Rowlett has set off their sirens. It's not for a tornado. It is for a hail threat, as we unfortunately had confirmation of. Hey Caleb, headed northeast. Yeah, but I hope it's misses our neighborhood to the east. Caleb lives in my neighborhood. Okay, Aber, pea size, a little larger. Okay, we can handle pea size. We can handle that. All right, thank you, Abra. That's what's great about Abra, and all y'all that report in. It's like, hey, just ground truth. That's what we need. Radar and all that stuff is great, but you got to have ground truth. And the only reason I'm not out there right now is because I don't do a whole lot of chasing at night because you just can't see a whole lot. And plus, I want my car in the garage. All right, so yeah, there's a couple of videos coming in on social media here, which is not surprising. All right, so again, this is reflectivity, but we will go to the hydrometer. Uh, so if you're just joining us, this is a different layer on the radar that measures hydrometers, which is just a fancy way of saying solid objects. And so the red is technically on the radar. How it interprets it is it's a rain hail mix. So when you see red, typically it's a smaller hail size. Um, Not always, but it's obviously could be some hail, but it's not the yellows when you really want to get concerned. And there's the thunder at my house. All right. Uh, yeah, yeah, Caleb, third time sirens. Well, that's actually sirens though. Rowlett, and I imagine those are Rowlett. I'm not sure what Garland's doing. But I know both Garland and Rowlett set them off earlier. I think Rowlett's the one you're hearing right now. Saxy has not set off their sirens. I promise you, I would know about that. Most of y'all understand that joke, but not joke. But anyway, so this is the area of concern. Again, the radar scan is a little bit behind. So this is not real time. It's pretty close. So I would guess that this hail core is probably close. It's probably north of I-30 now. Now, again, like I said, probably the saving grace of this storm, if there is one, is that the hail sizes haven't been terribly large, and the storm is moving really fast. So just fast in the sense that if it does hail at your location, then it won't last terribly long. I'm just trying to be positive. I'm Mr. Positive, so just trying to be positive. And as Caleb asked, yeah, the sirens are related to hail, not tornadoes. So there's a little bit of broad rotation in this storm. It's nothing to be concerned about. So it's definitely mid-level as we were looking at earlier. So it's not really a tornado thing. It's a hail thing. Hey Leslie. Oh, your hail predictor has a hole in it. Oh my goodness. All right. Official call. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So, for those of you who live in Saxe, we are going to activate our emergency sirens in Saxe. I will say, though, that it's out of abundance of caution, I should say. So it's looking like the worst of it will not hit Saxe, but you will hear the sirens in Saxe. So just give me a heads up. But as you can see from this radar scan, most of the hail is in Rowlett. So, all right. So let me get back to it. Kyle, hail and Rowlett. Yeah. How big, Kyle, if you know? Dallarkin 66. Yeah. If you don't mind sharing, how big is the hail? I'm just curious. It doesn't look the radar signature doesn't look as daunting as it did a little while ago, so that's good. But ground truth is what you want in these situations. Um, P size, okay. Thanks, Kyle. Appreciate that. P size, we could do P size. We don't want to do any size, but we'll definitely do P size. Hey, Karen, hailing Dalrock 66. Yeah, that's what Kyle was saying. Hopefully, it's still P size. But it's coming down. Yeah, yeah. But the storm is moving pretty fast, so hopefully it won't last too long. Uh, so if you live in Saxe, like I said, if you haven't already heard the sirens, you're going to hear the sirens. It is just out of abundance of caution. So most of the hail is going to be east of Saxe. So just FYI. All right. So just looking at some other storm reports. Boy, that was. So, by the way, if my internet stream goes out, then you'll know why. Because of that right there. Yeah. Hey, Kara. Yeah, I was just mentioning that. So the sirens are going off in Saxe out of abundance of caution, but the worst right now, the worst of it is going to be east of Saxe. So again, nothing to panic about or anything, but just out of precaution. So just nothing intimate for Saxe. Let me get this real quick. Yes. I knew my phone would go crazy if we set them off in Saxe. That's okay though. You got to be, we just have to take the approach that. Boy, I'm gonna have to put that down. Just got to take the approach that you just want to be safe than sorry. That's the thing. Um, yeah, thank you, Abra. Yeah, so I know tornado sirens are kind of unnerving. That's for sure. But again, it is for hail, not tornado in this case. Once we get past this little episode, I'll talk about what we can expect later tonight. So I'm not saying we're going to see tornadoes, but it's just this is not over by any stretch of the imagination. We will get a break though. Let me respond to this real quick. All right. This is when you wear many hats. It's you get really busy. Okay. All right. So let me go back to the comments here. Yeah. Again, if you're just joining us, sirens in Saxe for hail. Most of the hail is going to be east of Saxe. However, this unfortunately this core has just ramped up again. So I think all right. So we just got a report of have dollar size hail in Saxe. Sorry. Rowlett. Clarify that. Rowlett. All right. So, thank you, Kara. Well, I mean, you can be calmer. I guess that's what I like to do. I like to come on here and let people know what's going on. So, again, yeah, Christy, that was some, yeah, that lightning wasn't too far from my house. So that's the other thing too is there's a lot of hazards with these type storms. The usual wind, lightning. Lightning can do. Sadly, if it hits your house, lightning can do a lot of damage. So yeah, so it's hail at my house. Let's see. Okay, I gotta check see what side to this. Hold on a second. Okay, I had to check the size. It's P, so let's stay that way. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so let's see. Well, I say P, a little bit bigger. uh, it, and those of y'all, especially in my neighborhood, um, it's yeah, it's bigger than we want it to be, but it's okay. It's not gonna last very long. All right. So again, if you are, as the radar depicts, let's scoot this up a little bit. All right. So like I said, this radar's a little bit behind, but coming through the very eastern and southern part of Saxe, um, like I said, the far northern part of Rowlett, northeastern part of Rowlett, and excuse me, northeastern part of Rowlett. I was gonna say northwestern Rockwall County. It gets real confusing. So I would say that you know, if you live in the eastern part of Wiley, just have a heads up. Hey Joe, Hale and Woodbridge. Joe, how big was it? Just curious, trying to get some because I will do a report to the weather service for Saxe, so I want to make sure we get it right. Um, all right, so Big Thunder and Wiley, yeah. Hey, Michael, Broadway and Centerville quieting down. Good, that's good. Wind picking up. Yes, it is, Christy. You're welcome, Tammy. Yeah, calm me down. It is. Nickel, thank you. Ish. Don't we love that ish? Nickel ish. Yeah, so I like the ish. I don't I don't like the definitive stuff. Um, so I like that. So yes, Brenda, we are going to be fine. We're going to get through all this. So it's nothing to be terribly concerned about. I mean, and look, the hail is no fun. Don't get me wrong, but it's just one of those things. It's springtime in Texas, and it didn't look very. It didn't. I mean, at least at my house, it didn't last very long. So that's the good news. Um, so here's what we can. Let me zoom out on this here, and yeah, so you can tell from that last scan that the hail size has actually gone down um, even more. So it's looking better for this particular storm, especially if you're in the eastern part of Wiley, Lawan, nickel size. Christy, thank you very much. And I really do appreciate y'all reporting the size because what I'll do as the emergency manager for Saxe, I will report that to the National Weather Service because they need that for for radar for ground truth and to see how good the radar is depicting it. So, matter of fact, I'm probably just going to do that right now. Uh, let's see. Let's see. No rain by Saxe High. Yeah, that's the other thing too. By the way, is that if you're like, I know there's just looking at the map, most of Saxe just got a little rain. Most of Saxe didn't get any hail. Basically, the eastern part of Saxe. So, um, let's see. We're going to do. Let me send this report in real quick. I do not want to forget. 8. Yeah. Hey, Misty. Let me get to that in just a sec. I need to go watch that for you. Hold on. Oops. Try that. Sorry about that. I'm just doing my report here to the Weather Service. Okay, thank you for that. Appreciate that. Okay, so I just want to make sure I got that in before went on something else. Okay, so let's do a little quick summary of what we just had here. Hey Kelly, hail at our house, golf ball size, East Wiley. Oh my. Okay, I am sorry to hear that. I hope it didn't last too long. Um, yeah, Aber, we need hail sizes. Well, I will say most of them are getting pretty good, pretty good reports. I appreciate everybody doing that. Okay, so looks like we're getting a little hail in Wiley. Um, oh, okay. You're on the Wiley Saxon line. Okay, yeah. I put in a report where I was. That's why I put the distance where I was, my exact location to the weather service. So if you don't have uh, Imping, that's an app on your phone. You can download that. Another warning coming out here. Let me make sure. Didn't miss any comments here. I know I did missed a few. Hail behind Hudson Middle School, Cox. Definitely a little hail on the Wiley side. Thank you, Heather. Yes, Danae, we definitely got hail in our neighborhood. Yeah, it's ironically it's gonna be a little quiet for a little while, Christy. That's North Texas spring weather for you. It's blustering is done. Light wind at Peachtree Estates, quiet south of Firewheel. Let's see. Okay, thank you for your report, Kelly. I appreciate it. I hope it didn't last too long, to be honest. All right, so let's zoom this out a little bit. Now, of course, that hail core is ramping up a little bit, and then you can see this is off to the in Greenville, but you can see that hail core. That hail core is pretty big in Greenville. So if you know anybody that lives out that way, shoot them a text real quick. All right, so we'll zoom back to this storm, and we go to the hydrometer classification, which again measures more solid objects. So again, you can see the red. That's pretty good indication of hail. It's not always all hail, but it's a pretty good idea. So eastern part of Wiley, it's probably already crossing Highway 78 near the Lake Lavon Dam, I would guess. It looks like it's going to miss Lavon proper. But if you live up Cokeville, up that way, maybe ultimately Farmersville, just if you know anybody up that way, just give them a heads up and say, hey, it's coming that way. Hey, Jeff, ping pong size hail in Wiley done now. Okay. That's good. I think for the immediate area, it is done temporarily. We'll talk about that in just a second. All right. So let's see. Let's do this. Yeah, Andy, quick burst and ended. Yeah, that's kind of how it was pretty much for everybody, I think. Unfortunately, just most of us on the eastern side of town got some hail. Looks like it's a nickel size at my house. I know there were bigger, a little bit bigger hailstones, but that's what the basic gist of it for the most part. And then, of course, you saw some golf ball size hail reports in Wiley, Saxony Wiley border, Dime, P. So quite the range. Just depends on where you are. And that's the other thing, too, by the way. Hail, hail sizes can vary, just in a neighborhood. I mean, that's how variable hail can be. So it could be, it could definitely be something to blow your mind in a way, just like it started quick and ended quick. All right, so let's go back to reflectivity. Sorry, I just make sure I'm not missing anything on the notification. All right. Okay, so for the immediate future, we're good. But we'll talk about. Let's go ahead and talk about that. And matter of fact, if you'll give me a second, thank you, Miss Thompson. Small marble at Cox, like 100 hailstones total. Did you count all those? Yeah, it wasn't that much for some people, thankfully. Okay, I'm gonna check on Misty real quick. She is a really good friend of mine I went to high school with, and so she lives down south near Fairfield. So I'm going to do this for her real quick. Yeah. So Misty 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, quarter size hail. Okay, so Misty, I'm gonna do the velocity mode on here, and no, just maybe really, really broad rotation, but this is way far from the radar site, so you are good for now from that standpoint. Just watch that storm though. Just watch it. So that's for Misty there. Misty, you have my number. If you need to text me, you can text me. Okay, so let's kind of expand this out. So we've been kind of focused on what the immediate concern was, which was that little storm. But as you can see, they're not over by any stretch of the imagination. So we are seeing these cells pop up. Let me get my Richardson, south of Arlington, between Burleson and Cleburne. And I bet you if we put these in motion, we'll kind of get an idea of, like I said, most everything's moving north, maybe just a slight tick to the northeast. So again, the storms in Arlington and Cleburne, they're moving north, so they won't affect us, but it's something that yeah, I I am getting reports on my phone. Oh, okay. 20,000 of these. Jensen, thank you. I know you're, I don't think I saw you in the chat. Thank you for sending that, Jensen. I appreciate that. 20,000. So Miss Thompson had 100. You got 20,000. All right. So let's see. So Misty, just to wrap up your storm, you're okay. It does have some hail in it, so just be careful there. Not any rotation. I'll keep you updated on that. Hello, Nicole. Lacrosse practice while he needs to be at the rally. When should he leave to go home? You can go home now, Nicole. It is over for now, so you can go home now. Hey, Heather, lasts about as long as totality. Yeah, boy, no kidding. I like that. 4 minutes and change, or 3 minutes and change. Let's hope we don't get anything else like that. And if we do, it is as long as totality. I like that, Heather. That's really good. All right. So, hey, Jensen, there you are on chat. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sending the pictures, by the way. I appreciate that. And if anybody wants to send pictures, they can. It's, and like I said, any kind of ground truth we get, to the weather service definitely helps. Okay, so just reissued a warning for. Let's see what that is. Get my mouse over there. Yeah, Eastern Collin County. So again, this is the same storm. 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, 40 moving north at 45 miles an hour. Quarter size hail. Like you said, the hail size has definitely come down. That's for sure. But there. So again, if you know anybody that's east of McKinney, up in Farmersville, especially, they're in the warning box. The Polygon, as the great James Spann would say. Then just make sure that you tell them to just be on the lookout. Yeah. Okay. I'll do that in a second. All right. So let's look at the bigger picture for a second because, oh, you're welcome, Gina. No problem. Yeah. Where do we post the pics? Gina? Ooh, Miss Hodges. That's a good question. I don't think we could do it in this format, unfortunately. If you want to, I think if you tag me on Facebook, maybe that'll do it. And if anybody wants to do that, just tag me on Facebook. And then, because I'm not gonna be live all night long, I'll do it in spurts if we need to. But yeah, just tag it on Facebook, and I think that'd be the best way to do it. Or you can instant message me on Facebook. That might work too. And then what I'll try to do is I will try to get all those kind of put together as a collage, and I'll send that out. Okay, so let's take a step back for a second and look at the bigger picture. Let's do. All right, so yeah, see that big old blob out there in West Texas? That is the next round, and we might have some other rounds before that, but we'll talk about that. All right, so I am going to go to slideshow presentation here. And let's go over this as far as the overall. So this is a little bit dated, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. We're obviously in the 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. time frame. And then the 1 a.m. to 7 a.m. Unfortunately, this has the potential. We're going to get a break. We're in a break right now. Now, I say break. Now, there's going to be people in the Metroplex that are going to be dealing with like the storm in Arlington. It's definitely gonna be dealing with that. Um, but yeah, okay. So okay, I'll have to do that in a second. So I don't want to take away from the stream. So if you send me a message, I would definitely. I promise you, I'll get to it. Uh, so oh, you're welcome, Nicole. So yeah, Kelly, it was short, but yeah, that's a really good way to put it. So this is the time frame. We're going to have some more storms scattered between now and one, but after 1 to 7, you see this kind of this brownish, purplish color, not purplish, brownish color, what red color, whatever that is. Move across the northern parts of North Texas. And so that's overnight. And so right now, these are the watches we have. This is a tornado watch. It doesn't include Dallas Fort Worth. So till actually this is old. They reissued this till 1 a.m. So these are actually a little dated. Now this is still valid. So if you're a thunderstorm watch for till 11 p.m., I almost promise you that would be extended to the east for us. Okay, so rainfall again, we could see 1, 2, 3 inches. Not really concerned about that at this very moment for obvious reasons. And then tomorrow, most of it will be south of us, but we may have a little rinse and repeat. This is mainly the red for Dallas Fort Worth is mainly for the morning. Uh, so we'll move on from that. All right, so this is the severe weather outlook, the current one. As you can see, we're in the enhanced risk. That's risk 3 out of 5. The enhanced risk is for hail. Kind of a duh thing now, right? So that's the main reason for the enhanced risk. The tornado risk is 5%, which is a brown. Haven't seen a whole lot of that, but definitely a possibility. So just something to keep in mind. And then, yeah, severe hail outlook. This is the red is 30% chance. The hatched is 10% chance of seeing 2 inch in diameter hail, not or 2 inch in diameter hail or greater. I know maybe a couple people, although I saw a golf ball, so I didn't see anything around 2 inches. So, uh, yeah, just real quick, Andrew, how's it looking for how? Watch that storm to your south. That's the one that hit us. So it's got some hail in it. So just watch out for that one, Andrew. The severe wind outlook, and then this is tomorrow's severe wind outlook. This will change in the morning. So that's overall, that's a big tornado risk near Lufkin, southeast Texas, western Louisiana tomorrow. Hail may hopefully south of us tomorrow. This will change, and the severe wind outlook tomorrow that will change as well. All right, so that's kind of a graphical representation of that. All right, so let's go on out to West Texas, shall we? Well, if I can, let's do it this way. All right, so see that? So that's a bow echo, and that's a big wind time thing. So that is something that none of it's good, but hail or winds like that aren't good either. So let's look at the particulars. Uh, yeah. So this now again, if you're just tuning in, this is way out west of us. This is not for us, but this is out in Haskell County. Uh, tennis ball size hail, 70-mile-an-hour wind gust. The wind gust is my bigger concern. Although, don't get me wrong, if it really is tennis ball size, that would obviously be an issue. But that is something that I think is, if you look at the bigger picture and put this in motion, that's just what we're going to have to watch for as the evening and overnight hours go on. And I thought I put this in motion, but maybe I didn't. Okay, now I did. So you can kind of see how that line has formed, and yeah, it's 6 hours away, give or take. That's just a rough estimate. So it is something that'll kind of be what we'll have to watch out for in the overnight hours. And it's just, you know, it's no fun to think about what we may have to deal with overnight. But might have to, yeah. Let's see if I can get this. Go back to the Fort Worth radar. All right. So, like I said, nothing terribly concerning right now in the Metroplex proper. But we do have these storms that are northeast of Dallas Fort Worth, headed up toward Farmersville, and then north of Greenville. So, all right. So, let's see. Hey, Kara, does this little storm we got stabilized us at all? That's really a really good question. I wish I had a better answer for you, but the answer is no. Pretty small storm, and when we get these storms that cluster together and get really big, then those can act to stabilize the atmosphere. Unfortunately, unfortunately, that's not going to do it. So we are just as unstable as we were before the storm came through. But yeah, that's although, like I said, I think we're going to see a little bit of a lull between now and then. So just looking at my weather station, 66 degrees. So definitely cool off. That's for sure. 2/10 of an inch, so not a lot of rain, but definitely some hail. Unfortunately, nothing too big at my house. I know some of you got a little bit bigger. Carrie said, "I figured you would say that." Yeah, okay, well, I don't know if I get credit for that or not. But I wish, Carrie, I wish it was something where I was like, "Oh yeah, we're done. Just stabilize our atmosphere. We're good." I wish I could say that, but obviously that's not the case. So here's the bottom line. Probably wrap this particular live stream up for now. So if you want to send me pictures of the hail at your house, just do it on Facebook, whether it's Messenger or just a direct Facebook, whatever. And I'll try to put something together and send that out. And then um, as far as the rest of the night, as you can see from this current radar picture, um, there's going to be scattered storms around. Decent little cell on the east side of Fort Worth on Loop 820. So it kind of gives you an idea. Probably going to be a hail producer pretty soon. And then, but scattered. Where we want to look tonight, just like earlier this evening, for the early evening hours, we want to look to the south of us. That's where we want to look. As you can see right now, we're all good. And if we expand this out a little bit, we definitely got some storms south, of course, of Canada. And I think if we put this in motion, that's where Misty's in that area. Yeah, you can see that storm is moving more northeast. So I think that storm's not going to bother us. Like I said, I think the concern is this cluster of storms right here that's moving generally toward us, and they're a good hour away. Excuse me, more than an hour away. They're good hours away. Don't know exactly how many hours away, but um, it's something that I'll definitely be watching. That's for sure. So I will say this, just like I do anytime during the spring storm season, if you um, have a way to secure things, whether it's vehicles in your garage, it's stuff you can back down the hatches, if you will, in your yard or whatever. I would definitely do that tonight. It doesn't mean we're going to get the worst of the worst, but it's always better to be prepared because I think those storms out in West Texas or something we're definitely going to have to watch, and I'm definitely going to watch it. But in the meantime, take this moment, just take a breath, just relax a little bit. We're all going to get through this together. This will be my plug for weather radios. If you don't have a weather radio, I would highly encourage you to get one because if we ever lost power for a long time, if a cell tower went out, um, you wouldn't have a way. If your cell tower went down, you wouldn't have a way to get a weather warning on your phone, but you would have it with your weather radio. You can get them on Amazon. The basic models are $25. It's a really, really good investment. It's just a backup to a backup in case you need it, especially at night, because if you go to sleep and we have some really bad weather overnight, it will wake you up. Now, nobody wants to get woken up for a warning, 100 miles away. You can set it to where it just warns your county. But if you don't know how to program it, I'll show you how. It's not that hard, but it's just something that we're just into the spring severe weather season, and unfortunately, we're gonna get more of this type stuff. Maybe not like tonight, but it's just good to have that backup. We all like our technology. I love it. I love my phone. I love all the stuff it can do. But at the end of the day, if you don't have any power, you can't charge your phone, and the cell tower gets damaged, then your phone is worthless. But as far as warnings go, but it's have a weather radio. My weather, if you can hear that, my weather radio is going off right now because not for us. It is for the storm. Let's zoom back in. Yeah, for that storm that was east side of Fort Worth. So again, it's the same thing. You're going to see these storms form and have this hail potential. So the weather service is warning for this storm that has inch and a half hail, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. The wind, I mean, although it was windy, the hail is much more of a threat. Hey, Brenda, where did I purchase my radio? Where do you purchase the radio? The easiest way to do it is Amazon. If you just type in weather radio, you should have plenty of choices. Midland is a good a good brand. And as a matter of fact, I think I could do this. So I'm going to see if I can put the link in the chat. I'm going to give it a shot anyway. And I'm going to put the one that I think is the most, it's the most affordable. That's for sure. Let me see if this will work. I don't know if it's going to work at all. It's a long link. Okay, well, it's a long link, but anyway, that is the weather radio I would look about. You can, you don't have to get that one. And by the way, I get nothing for that, so. But it's a good one I have. It's a good radio. It's a good affordable radio. And obviously it has AC power, but it has battery backup, and it has a display on there to where it tells you exactly what kind of warning it is. If it's a tornado, if it's a severe thunderstorm, if anything like that, it'll tell you what it is. And like I said, it's really important, especially at night, because you just don't want to be caught off guard where it's too late to do something. So again, and by the way, this is the official communication that the government does use for things like this, and also other civil emergencies, which hopefully we won't have. But it's a way to get information when the traditional ways we think of nowadays with our phones goes out, and it's just a good way to it's just a good backup way to get information. I highly recommend it. I have one for my car. I got one. I have it. I know I'm a geek, so I get that. I don't expect to have it in your car, but have it in the car, have it at home. Even if you had it at your office, it's just wherever you're going to spend a lot of your time. I put it that way. So I highly recommend you do that. Okay, so to wrap this particular live stream up, currently severe thunderstorm warnings for eastern Collin County for the storm near Farmersville, and then severe thunderstorm warning for the storm that's over Bedford, moving north toward Flower Mound. So if you know people there, tell them a storm's coming for them. Hopefully not as bad as it could be. So. Okay, I don't see anything else in the chat. Send me your pictures. I'll put something together, and depending on what the weather is like between now and my bedtime, I may come back on and give a quick update before we go to bed to kind of see how the weather pattern is shaping up. But it's already close to 9, so no guarantee I'm going to do that. If nothing else, I'll put something out. I'll put a post out there. It just depends. But anyway, all right. So thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you watching. And as always, I'm watching weather so you don't have to. Hope everyone has a great evening. Even though some of us got a surprise we did not want to get, but it's going to be okay. We're going to get through this like we do everything else. And I'll be here to keep you informed. And like I said, we'll get through it together. And again, take a moment. If you're in the Saxe area, eastern part of Dallas, if you've had this storm, take a moment, just take a breath, relax. It's all good. And then, like I said, we will talk soon, unfortunately. Again, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I really do appreciate it.